It's Davenport TV today.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going?
Yeah. Hi, YouTube, everybody who's out there and who's not out there yet and who will be. This is Jeremy Kent Jackson.
Hey, Douglas Davenport.
Yeah, and I'm Hal Sparks, and of course I play Donald Davenport, and we got the honor of playing brothers on a show just kind of randomly. And tell them the big weird thing about the two of us that just happened to me. Like, we were picked to play brothers. I liked you immediately. I always thought you're like, just right away, I'm like, this is going to be a lot of fun. You're terrific. And then it turns out that there's a weird detail. What's the weird detail?
So I'm sitting in the makeup chair. Mm-hmm. That's right, we wear makeup on the show. That's how come we look so pretty.
I wear it at home.
Sometimes. I do as well.
Yep.
Nope. But
he doesn't have to. He's rugged.
He
can grow facial hair. I can't. So,
that's true. So
you just that's like man makeup.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. It covers up your
I can't even avoid
imperfections.
Exactly.
Which I have a few. But anyhow,
that's
I
digress.
Yeah.
Sitting in the makeup chair.
Sitting in the makeup chair, and the topic of birthdays comes up, right?
Right.
And it's like somebody.
We're talking in here. Hi. What do you need?
It's me.
Yeah. Hold on. We'll be right back after this. We're interrupted with production stuff. They have shoes for us both to try on.
You gotta try on shoes, man.
It's all shoes and wardrobe.
Incidentally, this will be my second pair of shoes in 3 seasons that I will have had.
Yeah, it's funny, but I'm a billionaire with 2 pairs of shoes.
Right, exactly. And I'm a billionaire's brother who actually wears a pair of your shoes.
Yeah, right.
They were his shoes first.
From season 1, which I hated and I couldn't run in. Yeah. And I literally said, this is my excuse whenever I hate a pair of shoes that they give me in wardrobe, is I can't do action in these. And I want to be ready in case there's anything positive. If I can fall down a flight of stairs or be in a fight scene.
You've got to have that.
Yeah, so if they give me a pair of shoes, that's the worst thing, because that's a twisted ankle. That's a slip across the floor.
So I'm in your shoes that you couldn't do action in.
Right.
And I've twisted a lot of ankles.
See?
But how I've covered that is I wear 2 pairs of socks in those bad boys. Tighten them up.
That's because I got big, meaty feet.
Big, huge feet. You
I do.
Them out.
I do. I have big, chunky feet. It's
anyway,
true.
So there we are sitting in the makeup chairs. The topic of birthdays comes up. When's your birthday? And because people were trying to figure out how can we be brothers? Are we close to the same age? Which we are.
Yeah.
And Hal Sparks here says, yeah, my birthday's in September. And I'm sitting in the chair, and there was this bizarre.
Yeah.
And I have no other worldly powers, but there was a bizarre moment in my head where I went, he's got the same birthday as me. Turns out, exact same birthday.
September 25th.
September 25,
right.
Libras.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Scales.
Yeah. So, obviously, Kismet, magic, instant bond that happened from
That's
that.
right. Then we find out also some things about our personal lives that are also very...
Yeah, our sons are about the same age. Yeah, yours is, I think, 4 or 5 months older than mine.
I think that's right.
Yeah. And then you have a stepson.
That's correct.
Who is the same age as my girlfriend's son.
Perfect.
Yeah. And, like, we have the same family...
We're like the same guy. We're like in the opposite universes.
We've met our own doppelganger and we get along.
That's
this
right.
Is like
good.
Right.
Yeah.
This would be a great action movie if one of us hated the other.
Right.
It turns
exactly.
out it's like now instead it's a weird sitcom.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Hey,
it works out great.
I met the other me.
Hey,
right.
What am I?
Yeah. And it's like we should do an Australian sitcom called Soul Mates.
Soul Mates.
We're just mates, but we're joined by one soul, the same person.
Yeah, we shared a pouch.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Didn't know, separated at birth, even though the births were separate. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. Okay,
spectacular.
So let's talk a little bit about the show. For me, I loved the show from the start. I thought it was really funny on an adult scale. Like, grown-ups could watch it, and because, quite frankly, and he and I are going to say this, and we're going to catch a lot of Disney fan flack for this, but as grown-ups, it's often hard for us to watch what is effectively kids programming, especially live-action sitcoms on these kind of channels. We're not the demographic.
We're not the demographic. Sometimes you're watching with your kids and you're like, oh, this is for them.
Yeah.
But it's not for me.
But it's not for me. I can't. And over time, it's harder and harder to sit there.
It gets harder and harder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have a show where I get, and I'm sure you experience this too, as many parents coming up and going they like the show, or watch it with their kids, or like whole family units.
And sometimes they tell it to you like it's like a secret. They're like, hey, Mom,
I really like Mad Rats.
I actually like that show.
Yeah.
Could I get like a picture?
Right.
Or like
Can I get a picture with you? Yeah. Like for your kid? No, for me.
Yeah, for me.
Right,
yeah.
sure.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
So, we are right now. What's airing is different from what we're actually doing. We're in season 4 right now, and we've extended. We're going longer, and we're getting bigger episodes, more action, deeper story. We were even talking about how the show has a mythology to it, and a backstory of characters and what they're capable of, and all this alt universe stuff that can kind of be done that a lot of other shows like this can't do.
No, it's so cool because for me, because I came into it season 2 midway,
right,
as the bad guy, which was always fun, a fun way to come in. But you always worry about whether you're going to be on for long because the bad guy traditionally needs to go away.
Yeah, you got to win sometimes.
Somebody's got to win.
Otherwise, it just becomes this annoying back and forth Joker Batman thing. Exactly. We're like, oh, for crying out loud,
somebody needs to win here,
right?
And then somebody new needs to come along. So it's cool. They turned the character.
Yeah, you were salvageable.
Exactly. And this relationship was really fun and dynamic to play. So anyway, as I got the script for the auditions, I dove into watching some lab rats, which I had never really taken the time to do, and I became one of those people. I was like looking at my family going, hey, this is actually a pretty cool show.
Right.
And then I found out that the writers behind the scenes, actually, they write a lot of adult television as well.
Yeah.
And
that's where they came
comedies.
from. A lot of them came from I Love the 70s.
That 70s show.
Yeah,
right?
That 70s show. I came from I Love the 70s.
That's right.
True. And 80s and 90s and whatever. But yeah, to me, that's been kind of the greatest experience of, like, especially going through the scripts, is when you find those jokes and everybody in the room laughs, all cast included, but it's clearly like that's not aimed at a 10-year-old.
Exactly.
That joke is for the mom and dad.
It acknowledges that there's not two kids.
There's other people in the room.
Maybe
right.
a mom and a dad. Maybe a stepdad even.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So you're acknowledging your whole audience, not just half of it. And
right.
I think that's what's important with family television, because I think that's what's cool about Lab Rats is I don't think it's necessarily a kids show; it's a family show.
I agree.
It pulls everybody in, and it pulls us in as actors because we're always excited to not just. People always ask you, what do you want to do, comedy or drama? And I'm always like, I want to act.
Yeah.
So I love doing drama. I love doing comedy. I love doing action.
Right.
And here we got a half hour where we get to explore all of that as actors. And I think our audiences stick with us too, maybe because they too are getting to experience all three of those things at once,
That's great. I think that actually is a great tipping point for episode 2. Well, I'm gonna pause right now, and then I'm gonna post another video after this. You and I are gonna talk about click subscribe on the channel and all that stuff that you can, because some of these will be just for subscribers. But the second episode, the one we're going to talk about right now, I want to talk about acting on a show like this, because you teach acting.
That's right.
And I've been acting since I was 15. You've probably been in since high school, middle school, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, this is not one of those situations where tonally it's just a kid show where it's all just over the top cartoonish acting. It's got to have some meaning. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that in the next episode. So anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Bye.